Yo, what's up YouTube? It's me, Brokenxlive, back with another video. This time, I just want to do like a little follow-up on the last video I did, where I talked about like a long video about the review of the leveling experience of Blue Protocol, and uh, I just had to feel that a lot of people thought, yeah, my view of the game is just positive or only negative, and just to clear that up, I want to take a look now at the end game of the game. Because my last video was mostly focused just on the leveling experience. And just to reiterate that, I thought the leveling experience is good actually. So that's I'm not changing like my opinion on that or anything. Everything that I said in the video is totally yeah, still how I feel about the game. But this time I want to focus more specifically on the end game. How is the experience after reaching max level? And yeah, let's get right into it. At first, I just want to show you real quick my character. I played a bit more, did some more upgrades, a bit more update to my gear. So I just want to go over that real quick. Um, I pretty much got all the max level imagines here. Uh, so I got my battle score up all the way to 4,750. It's like the item power, item level system, whatever they call it, battle score here. And what that's basically, it's not the max score that you can get at the moment, but it basically enables you to do all the content. So basically, if you go to the missions here, you can see this is the base missions. They're for like up until 3,500, and then you have the higher ranking ones, which go to 4,250. And then, yeah, you have these rush battles, which are like stages that you do with a lot of mobs that you have to kill. It's not really anything crazy. I did all these. Basically, when you see the crown, means I've cleared them. This is at the moment the highest one that you can do. This EX rush yeah, tower or whatever you call it, and I've cleared that as well. So I've done all the content that you can do right now. I haven't cleared this tower here. I've done it before, but I just haven't done it again. But yeah, this is basically all the dungeon gated content that you can do at the moment. There's also some raids that you can do. They spawn on like a timed basis. One is here, for example. There's another one, I think here in this area over there, but they're not that super high level yet, I think. I don't think there's a raid out yet for like 4,500 plus or something. And to be honest, the raid encounters are kind of a joke anyway. So yeah, I'll talk about that a bit as well. But I just want to let you know, like, I reached pretty much the maximum needed battle score that you need in the game to access all the end game content. So yeah, I think I can safely make this video now and let you guys know like how it feels with being able to access all the content, how the game actually is. So let's go over real quick what you can actually do in the end game. What actually opens up that you don't have before yet? And there's like already one of the first problems that comes up because like most of the things you do end game you can already do before, or you do the same things basically. You clear your missions to farm the items for the weapons you need. uh, you do new adventure boards to get new imagines that you want to do. Like here, you try and do that. Um, every new patch, maybe they bring out some new content, maybe one new dungeon, and then there's new imagines with new adventure boards attached to that, where you can do that. If you want to know more about all the systems, I talked about them a lot in my last video about the leveling experience. So, but yeah, in general you do a lot of the same stuff that you already do while leveling. It's just a lot more tedious. Like a lot more materials are required to craft stuff, to craft imagines, to craft your level 50 weapons. And yeah, so you'll still spend a lot of time like doing dungeons, like maybe not these ones, but the higher ones. But even those are they're not much different. They don't feel different. It's not like they have like introduced some crazy new mechanic or a new system which makes the dungeons more interesting. It's just the same dungeons that you did before, just like upgraded to a higher item score. So you have like a bit stronger monsters and everything, but the gameplay doesn't change. That's what I want to say. So already you can see there's a lot of problems that you can already see here, which yeah, shine kind of a dark light on the endgame content that is offered in Blue Protocol, and this is definitely one of them. All the things that you can do in the mission tab here, it's very simplistic and not doesn't really require a lot of like coordination or whatever, and it's concept wise it's nothing really grand. Like the dungeons are just the regular dungeon you had before, and they're not really too crazy. These rush battles are like just waves of mobs that you kill, and yeah, maybe there's like a boss in between, or like a boss mixed with smaller mobs or something, but it's nothing really that is super exciting or anything. You just do it and just for the sake of doing it. And so it doesn't really bring anything crazy to the table. And you already start doing these at like a lower battle score level. And same with this one that is like a timed one. It's only an event one for only for this month. But it's also it's just like a little bit of a harder level than the rush battles that you do here. So it's also nothing really new. Um, Also you have these tactical timed things. Those are a little bit different. I think it's kind of okay. It's like a timed dungeon that you do by yourself. It's basically just you, and you do it and you try to beat it as fast as you can. But after clearing that one or two times, like what is really the incentive to make like do get like a high score or anything? You don't really get anything too crazy. Yeah, you get some currency, some of this currency, and you get some, I don't really know how do you like a banner sign or something maybe, but that's not really anything great to show off. So yeah, it's something cool. It's some solo content you can do, but pretty much all the content, even if it's group content in this game, it feels like it's just solo content with just some other guys there, which is also something I want to go over. I touched on the MMO feeling and the MMO aspect of this game already in the leveling experience, and I praised it there. And I don't want to go back on that. I feel during the leveling experience, just the way how you interact with other people, how there's always people around you doing quests, and sometimes you help each other, you kill a named boss together or something. That that feels good, and that feels really cool. It feels like there's a lot of moments where you can meet someone, have some fun time together. I don't know, maybe even add them as a friend or whatever. But but apart from that, the group gameplay, the actual group gameplay that is like required you to have a group, is like it does all of that for you, finding the other people, and then doing the content is not so difficult or so coordination required that you need to really communicate or interact with the other people. So that is something that really destroys kind of the MMO aspect of this game. I feel like it's more like a single player game, and you sometimes do some co-op stuff with others, and but but again, it's it's nothing where you have super interactive stuff about it. So um, that's what I feel like the problem with, especially with these mission systems, is like they're not in variety. They're not different enough. They're not rewarding. They don't feel like you're doing something cool, something special. It feels very chory, just like the adventure boards, all the other systems in the game. It feels like you're just repeating it just to you have to clear you have cleared it once, or just to get the materials to craft a new weapon or something. Nothing you do it for is like giving you anything super crazy, anything rewarding, and the experience itself is not good enough for that. So I mean it sounds very like big criticism, and it is, and but I wanna give you guys a real view of what the game is now at the end game, and it it's not looking too great if it stays like this. I mean, I wanna say again that the game still has some time to come out in the West, and the devs have a lot of time to still fix stuff. But the way everything is built up now feels like it's just very focused on doing similar chores. They are very similar. That is a bit of the problem. Just similar chores, just to complete things to get better imagines, better gear. I mean, maybe a better weapon, but yeah. and that's also one of the problems. Like, what is the incentive to get the best gear and all of that? Because there's a lot of things like RNG stuff as well in there where you can really min max your character and make it strong. But what really for? There's not really any content that needs you to super min max everything. Like, even the if you reach the battle score and you go in somewhere, it's mostly not that challenging. It's like fine. You have 4 people, they're all the right item level. Even if your build is not perfect or anything, you can play around a lot of stuff and you still clear everything, no problem. So I don't really see like why should I like craft these imagines like 5 or 10 times just so I get the perfect roll of what I want. Same with the weapon. I mean, I got really lucky on this one. Like I got 4 sockets, which is like I don't know, maybe like a 10% chance or something on a great success, which is also only like a 25% base chance. So I was really lucky, but what does that really give me? It's like, yeah, I get some more stats and I'm a little bit stronger, which feels cool, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really change much. So I don't really understand. So the end game system is only like you do the missions that you can do on the highest level, which are very repetitive and get old very quickly, just uh to farm your materials for the weapon and stuff. And then the imagines, the enhanced imagines down here, you usually farm those in the same dungeon, but just in a different version of it. Basically, how the game works is you have you can clear the dungeon as a mission with other people, and but you can also do a free exploration of the dungeon. So for example, if I go in here, this is one of the dungeons. um, Let me see, it's the soundless city one, it's this one, and you could do it with a party, but then later on, for like level 45 plus, it becomes a dungeon that you can explore freely. But it's still the same dungeon, the same mobs, the same layout. You just go in here again after you've done it already, and now you farm the mobs again just to get the materials that you need for the imagines. That's basically it. So there's not really anything new here, even though it's a new imagine. Maybe you can farm a new area. It's not really new because you've already done it, so it's not really too crazy. And the same thing here, people just stand in one spot and farm the mobs they need, because as you see, everything respawns very quickly. These mobs outspawn. So if you, maybe for the adventure board, you need to kill these ones, these sages, you stand here at the entrance and just farm these for like 20-30 minutes until you're done with the board. It's nothing, um, I don't know, really groundbreaking. It's just a farm fest. And also, what I feel like this really asks for like being botted or something. It's so easy to do this stuff that, especially if you're a ranged guy, I see a lot of ranged players standing on top of a building or a cliff up there maybe or something, and just shooting the mobs from upstairs down here, and they can't even retaliate. So it feels like that would be so easily automated by a bot or something. So is that really content? It's just what I want to get to. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the game that is chorey and that doesn't really feel like it's actual engaging content. It's just, yeah, you need to farm these mobs, like 50, 100 of them, or kill them for like 30 materials or something, just so you can craft the next better imagine, the higher level imagine. But once you have the highest level one, what really is the incentive to do that content anymore? Like, maybe you could say, yeah, you want to complete all the adventure boards fully, like not just to reach the goal, but do all the smaller things, which it doesn't give too much great stuff. Yet you can get experience from that and cash that experience in with your subclass and level your subclass for that. So that's kind of an incentive to do that as well. But it's not like, you can't really call that like great end game content in my opinion. So the game has like really a lot of flaws in that regard. And so the basically the 2 things you do when you're 50, you want to get your level 50 weapon first. So you farm your dungeon, whatever I showed you, like 8 times, and then get 20 of the rare materials, which is really, really chore because you need to do the same thing over and over again. Once you have your weapon, if you get lucky in the super good roll, that's good. But if not, it's not a big deal. Yeah, you don't have the best weapon, maybe, and you don't have like four sockets, maybe of only two. You can only do like two sockets, like gems or plugs, they call it here. Put them in there to enhance your stats a little bit. But even without them, you're totally fine to clear all the content that is there. And then you do the free explorations of the same dungeons again to farm the materials and the boards for your imagines. And then there's also always named mobs in those dungeons that you do for the best battle imagines that you want. And so you do those at least once or twice, and then that's usually enough. Then you have to gather other stuff. So you're even though it's chore and grindy, it's not like it takes a really long time. You can probably farm all this stuff in like a matter of a couple of hours, to be honest, and then you're done with your battle score. Your battle score is high enough, you can do all the content, but then what you do that content really for? And there's the next, and it's kind of also the last endgame system that is there, which is the skill enhancements. You have beta and alpha skills, which if you go here and you select a skill, you can have the normal version and alpha version, which I don't have on this one, but I don't need it because I already have the beta version, which is the best version of it. And those you get randomly by clearing a mission on high level, like one of these, for example, or one of the other ones, and they drop randomly for the skills that you have equipped. And they set that chance to get one of those skills. I think they upped it from like 2% to 4% or something in the last update. So it's just a huge RNG system to get your beta skills which enhance or and change your playstyle, but they don't really change your playstyle a lot. They just make your ability a little bit stronger. So I don't know, and it's questionable. Is it really super that much stronger or something? For example, the main one I use here, the crescent light, is like this double slash attack I do, this double slash. And what basically the beta thing does is, as you can see, the beams, the slashes, they stay there a bit and do like a damage over time effect. So I do less damage on the initial hit, but I can do like, if the mobs stand where they are, I can do a lot more damage, which is like, yeah, that's cool, nice. I have like a stronger attack now, but is that the end game? Get yourself some stronger skills through like a 4% RNG basis through just any dungeon. You can't even target farm them. You just need to have the skills that you want to level up equipped, and then maybe you get lucky and you get them. As you can see, I got kind of lucky and got free beta skills for my main skills already. And the alpha skills, which are a little bit of a I would say a little bit of a worse version than the beta one. You can farm those, yeah. There is a system for that, but it's also just through an adventure board. So you have like a list of things you can do, which are really, really, really time consuming. As you can see here, this kill 1,000 enemies, and then you get one ticket to buy one alpha skill. Like that can't be the end game content, in my opinion. Like you can't be serious that is what you're working towards. And then here you gather 300 materials, which is just like, are you gonna go out and just farm 300 materials just for the sake of that? No, you're just gonna play the game and like get them by the side, and then, oh cool, now I can get a new alpha skill, and it feels good for like a second until you're used to the new skill, but there's not really anything, okay, now I have these new abilities, a new playstyle opens up, or I can do like a different kind of content or anything. So I wanna be really harsh here because there is so much lacking in this game. When you're leveling, it all feels good. It feels great. There's so much stuff you can do, but after some time, you already start realizing that this is just very repetitive and chorey. And if this is the way the game keeps going, like what is really incentivizing you to keep playing after you reach that? And that is something that is really problematic in this game. I feel like because I put a lot of time into this game ever since it come out. Like I've started playing like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I've already reached this item score and everything. Like yeah, I put in a lot of time, but like already 1 week ago, I started playing less and less and less because I felt like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. And what for? You're just waiting then for the next developer update that they do, because it's a live service game, and then you get, what do you get? Maybe like one more dungeon or one more dungeon you can explore freely, like the free exploration, and then you can maybe craft like one or two more imagines, which is just, oh great, here's three more choice to do. But yeah, they give you a bigger number here, but it doesn't matter. So it's like there's a lot of things that I want to criticize. And I said some good things about the combat system during the leveling, because it feels cool, like the discovering all the ways you can use your abilities and stuff, and you have like some diversity there, and it's totally fine for you to have like a good leveling experience for that. But in the end game, it's just not enough. It gets very stale very, very fast, especially because your cooldowns are really, really long on the abilities. I mean, you have only 4 abilities. So imagine if like League of Legends, just as an example, all their abilities had like 20-second cooldown. Like this, my Q ability, my shield charge is 20 seconds, my E slash is 20 seconds, my AoE attack has 27 seconds. So you usually use those 3 skills, and then my C is just a regeneration skill. You use those 3 skills, and then you're just smacking mobs like with your auto attack for like 20 seconds. Like, is that really the combat that they intended to? Yeah, yeah, I can like run around, block and stuff, but that's it pretty much. Like, all you do is you group mobs up, and every 20-30 seconds you blow up all your abilities, maybe use a consumable, pop your imagines, and then you sit around for 20 seconds and yeah, just run around and dodge some abilities or something, or just auto attack. And I feel like that's not enough, like, to have a great experience for combat, in my opinion. And that really reflects in the encounters, because they're not really that difficult, and there's not really a deep layer to them in like how you interact with the boss mobs and stuff. Yeah, there's some stuff you have to dodge and stuff, but this becomes really apparent in the raid encounters, which you think like, oh, raid, that sounds like a cool, like a big huge raid instance or a dungeon, like an instanced content where you have like a lot of mobs, difficulty, you have to coordinate with the other players. But no, it's just you zone in, there's a huge dragon, and you just smack it. And yeah, sometimes it flies up in the air, does like a fire breath, lands again, and that's it. But there's no coordination, you just use your skills, and it's like a it's like a pinata, really. I can't describe it in any other way. So it's not really great content. And yeah, I think the problem there is also, it starts with the combat system, that it doesn't really open up the game to have a lot of variety, engaging, um, interactive end game content. And that's the problem. It's great for like some solo leveling. It feels fine, but for the top level group play, there's nothing that's changing. There's nothing, and it feels hard to really expand upon this too. So I'm not really sure how they can fix this. So yeah, it's looking kind of rough, to be honest. If I have to be totally honest, it's just, it's not enough, to be honest. From a depth perspective, from a variety perspective, from an engagement perspective, there's not really enough there. Yeah, you think, oh, there's a lot of numbers, you have weapons, abilities, these imagines, these companions that you use, your ultimate ability, class abilities, class passives, and like shared passives, so you can try out different classes and stuff. But after you've done that, what do you really do? It's like you run out of things to do very fast, and the replayability is not really there, because you're already forced to repeat everything that you're doing. So you're replaying the content during the level up process already over and over. And once you're at max level, you do the same content again over and over and over. So it's like, I'm not really sure how to give feedback as well for the game, like how to fix that. But Also, I don't think you can do anything like super PvP wise because because the combat is very, very, very shallow and not that I don't see like how it can be ever like super interested or engaging. Not even saying from a balance perspective. Like balance feels like it's probably absolutely impossible in this game. Like I can't imagine anything. But having balanced PvP in MMO is not something you should or could like really expect from most MMOs anyway. But if you but even to make it a fun experience, I don't really know what they could do to make PvP really interesting. So I don't think that's really an option for the end game. So I think if there's anything they can do is make the holy trinity of the classes stronger and then incentivize I don't know, build the content around that it's a lot more required to have strategies, to have like coordinated group play to clear certain dungeons and stuff. So they need to get away, I think, from the mission layout that they have, where it's basically solo content, but you do it with others, and it's just a rush fest to the end every single time. It becomes apparent very quickly that this is like not enough depth, not enough variety, not enough build diversity you can do that is really impactful, you know? It's like it's really easy to get into and nobody really feels like they're super left behind or weak because as long as you have the battle score, you're probably doing fine. You don't really need to think too much about all the other stuff. And that is like something that can really get improved upon. And so it's a bad sign, I would say already, that after me playing the game for like not even a month, already feeling like I'm kind of burned out and bored of the end game and the gameplay loops that you have. So I don't know. It's that is the reality that the game is in right now, and I feel like a lot of the Japanese player base has uh the same issues with the game, and I don't know what is the other thing you could do. Like most of the players that I see here, they just indulge in the gacha system and cosmetics. They just spend all their time just I don't know, buying cosmetics, doing the gacha system, like trying to customize their character. But what really for? You're just standing around in the city and maybe you do like one mission dungeon here and there, but that's the problem. Also, what I want to touch on real quick from the pay to win perspective, like last time that I said, like there's not really anything too apparent that you could see except for the one recipe for the dimension that I set on the battle pass. There's there's one more that is here in the store which you can buy. I'm not really sure if this is the best one you can get, but I don't know, like either you go full all the way pay to win and you put like all the stuff in the shop, but then like one thing that is like really important, it's like yeah, I don't know. That's something you can criticize or whatever. I don't really like it. I don't mind it if it's just one thing that you kind of feel like you have to buy, like a season pass or something. But again, that doesn't really contribute to the content and to the gameplay experience. It doesn't change anything really. And the gacha system is pretty expensive in my opinion. I'm not sure how this in other games works, like gacha games. I'm not really a gacha game player, so I don't know. But I feel like 500 of these orbs for 10 pulls, which is like, um, if you go here, 500 is like probably, if you buy it, it's like $20 probably. So like $20 for 10 pulls sounds kind of expensive to me. I'm really sure. Maybe other gacha games have the same system, but yeah, not really to be excited about, to be honest. Like there needs to be something else. I feel like for an MMO, this is no way enough. No way enough. You need harder content. You need to find some winning formula for the game. Like if you compare this maybe to another MMO like Lost Ark, without the Legion Commander raids, Lost Ark was like doing really pretty poorly. There wasn't really much content to do. So I feel like this game needs something like that, like something that really is cool to do, which is an amazing encounter, which is challenging, rewarding, which gives you options to customize your character more, to customize your build more, to have more in-depth of the system or anything. It needs to be more. than just get the highest level stuff and you get the battle score and you're fine. You're not really incentivized to min max a lot here, and even then there's not a lot of min maxing to do. So there's a lot of stuff lacking here, and it's kind of sad because I had a really great experience in the level during the leveling. So I'm not really sure what else I can say. But yeah, it's probably good like that I have a little bit of a shorter video. I want to apologize real quick for the last one. It was a big 1 hour one, and I mixed like a lot of opinions and explanations together with that are not just only tied to the leveling experience, but I felt like because the game is not out in the West yet and a lot of people don't really know how the game works, I had to go into a little bit more detail of yeah, how the systems and everything works. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. The ones who played the endgame content, the ones who read about it, heard about it, saw streams about it. What do you think? Like, I think there's a lot of stuff that still needs to happen in this game to make it really interesting. Otherwise, it's gonna be the same as with most of the MMOs that come out. Fun for like a week or two or a month at most, and then you drop it, or you come back maybe once or every other patch update, grind for like 2-3 hours to get your new imagines, your new whatever, your new weapon maybe, and then you drop it again. Okay. That's kind of what it feels like now. It feels like a seasonal ARPG, which is like you don't start over. You just have like a little bit more content, and you can do that really quick, catch up with that, and then you can quit already again because there's not really much incentive to do more. So, yeah, I really want to know what you guys think, and yeah, if I cleared up some of the stuff that wasn't really clear in my last video, because yeah, I like the visuals of the game, the graphics, some of the stuff is really cool. The leveling experience I think is great, but nothing changes when you get to the end game, and that's a big problem for me. There's not the world doesn't feel like it opens up really now to you. Like mo what I felt about most other MMOs that are great is like Final Fantasy 14, World of Warcraft. They were in at least in its glory days. It was like the game really feels like it starts when you hit max level. Like it gets really interesting, cool. A lot of stuff opens up, and that is missing here. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, if you found this video helpful, interesting, make sure to drop a like and maybe subscribe. I'll try to do a lot more of these review videos and kind of stuff of this game and also of different games. I'll go into more details maybe of some other stuff, some more systems and whatever release and MMO that is interesting. We'll just see what happens. Yeah, would be cool if some of you guys would follow and yeah, join this journey. Yeah, cheers guys, and I see you in the next one. Take care, guys.